Alright, got the Dolphin Sport 40 out here this morning, and I'm going to post this one up for sale on Craigslist, so I'll use this video as a link to it. So it flies on a 6S battery, and it did have one wreck in the past. So right now I'm doing a 4200 Hobby Star on a 6S. I was flying it on its second flight, and the motor mount broke loose from the firewall. It landed okay, no worries, but it did bust it out right there. And a real good builder at our club, Bill, he rebuilt it for me. I've flown it probably 4 or 5 times since then, and no issues at all. Right now, the only issue on the plane that I'm aware of is if you look down here, it's probably going to be hard to see on this hat cam, but if you look down there, the landing gears aren't 100% correct. It looks like whoever put them on there has one of them off-centered. This one's tight. This one right here has got a little wiggle, so it's going to have to be drilled out right here, put a dowel in it, re-drill it, put that back in at the correct angle where it's going backwards. I believe this one is the one that's correct, and that one there needs to be put back in where the rod's going in at an angle. It does have a kill switch on it right here. You pull that out and it kills the electronics. The motor is a Grand Turbo GT4020-7 and runs on like I said, 5 or 6S power supply. I like flying it on a 6S. Got really unlimited power on it. Alright, so let's take it out there for a quick flight and stand by. Alright, let's get a little pre-flight done. I normally like my ailerons on either low or mid. That's low rate right there. And the rudder and elevator, we'll go with mid rate on those. This is a really good flying plane. If you have any knowledge of a, say, a Super Sportster, that's what this really flies a lot like. Calm day, so we'll just take off to the north here. And I'll try to keep it in a little closer. This is actually a pretty good plane. Sorry for the bouncing around walking down here to the end of the field. This is actually a very good plane to fly on windy days. It's got a little bit of weight to it, so it doesn't get bullied around in the wind quite as bad as you'd think. Just making a couple of slow passes right now. Alright, let's give a high-speed pass. Going up, 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 and away, still climbing. Coming off of it. So I'm sure somebody's going to ask why I'm selling this. And I actually have 2 of them. I bought another one, and I'm trying to put a 10cc gas engine on it. And if not for that, I probably would not be selling this. If I were going to keep it, I'd probably convert that tricycle gear to a tail dragger. This plane, by default, when you order it from Tower Hobbies, you can get it as an ARF. I think it's around, I don't even know what it is, 159, something like that, 129. It's not very expensive as an ARF, but of course then you got to buy the servos and ESC and motor and all that, which adds it up. But by default, it comes as a tail dragger. Now, I bought this from an individual who had put it together and never flown it, and he configured it as a trike. So a lot of people like the trikes, especially if you're a newer pilot, the trikes are definitely easier to land. But I prefer tail draggers myself. Really no reason other than they're easier to store. When you got your wheels mounted in your wings, storage becomes a little bit of an issue. Sorry, I know I'm getting out a little too far. We'll make one more high-speed pass after that. Flight times, you get about 6 to 7 minutes flying like I am now, just kind of putzing around. There's a high speed, steep angle bank, loop. It's really a great flying plane. Looks good too in the air. It's got that yellow trim scheme on top and gray on the bottom, so it's pretty easy to maintain your orientation with it. Pass in front of us here. And it says we got 1 minute left on the timer, but we've been flying it pretty gentle, so we got quite a bit more time if we wanted. I don't want to ship this, so it's only going to be sold to a local buyer here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Does everything really well though. There's a wheels up pass. Sorry, got overhead there. There's a timer going off. And price on this, if you're a GSW member, we'll go $150. Non-members is $175. Let me rephrase that. $150 if you're have an AMA registration and you're a member of the AMA. $175 if you're not. Alright, let's get around here and set up for a landing on the next pass. You don't want to flirt too slow in the turns on this because she is probably right around 6 pounds, 6.5. So you get going too slow in the turns, drop a wing, you'll have a little problem recovering. Alright, taxi it back. Alright, Dolphin Sport 40. Wingspan somewhere between 60 and 63 inches. I don't have my tape measure with me, but it's going to be somewhere in that neighborhood. Great flying plane. Like I said, I do not think I would be getting rid of it if not for the fact that I've got a second one sitting on the shelf at home with the gas engine I'm trying to get worked out on it. Alright, any questions on it, contact me. Thanks. Alright, just finished the test flight on the Dolphin Sport 40. Thought we'd take a look at the battery level on it if I can get this plugged in. Alright, you can see right there 60, hopefully you can see it, 62% remaining on the pack. And all of them are coming down at around 3.9, right in that neighborhood, 389 to 391. So that was after the battery being connected for about a minute of pre-flight video, flew for about 6.5 minutes, and it's still connected right now, which is another minute of post-flight video. So you can see 62%. You probably easily could go 7 minutes on a casual flight like that. If you're going to give it more max throttle, then you dial that back, of course. But again, great flying plane, and highly recommend a good, inexpensive, large-scale electric plane to get into. All right, thanks for watching.